Welcome to Inspiring IT Leaders, where we feature top technology leaders and those amazing expressions they use to communicate, to teach, and to inspire. I'm Dan Roberts, your host of this series of 5-minute, high-impact micro videos. I am beyond excited to shine the light on the top digital and business leaders who are standout communicators. In this episode, we shine the light once again on Eduard de Vries, who teaches me something every time I talk with him. Thank you once again, Eduard, for your passion for paying it forward and sharing many inspiring IT leaders nuggets as part of this video series. Let's listen in to Eduard once again.
The second standard expression I use is get the basics right. As IT leaders, we need to earn the right to have a seat at the table. And if you think about it this way, we run clinics, but if we don't have electricity, it doesn't matter how good the doctors are we have, because patients can't come in. Patients can't log into the systems. So for us, the basics are make sure the network runs, the PCs for the employees work, they can get into the applications. We all love to talk about that digital transformation and new value we create, but we don't have the right to do that if we don't get the basics right. So we got to make sure that we focus on that. We align the incentives. If we don't get the basics right, we don't need to worry about the rest. And then we keep pulling the standard levers we have. We all talk about ITSF and ITIL and the standard tools to make sure it runs. And we should make sure we celebrate it within our organization that delivering standard IT services is an achievement. Because without that achievement, if we take our eye off the ball, we do not have the right to serve our business for the strategic efforts.
I want folks to really double click on this, Eduard, because getting the basics right, we can discount that very easily. But, if I'm building a new home, which I've done a few times, if that foundation is shaky, there's going to be some problems down the road. So is that a good analogy, good way to think about this?
It absolutely is. And if you think about it, it's a lot of block and tackling. It's a lot of repeating the same thing and doing it consistently. So your foundation is solid. So your bricks are laid properly and well aligned. But that's also a trade. You and I couldn't go out there and create a straight wall. So we have to be very careful that we do not underemphasize the talent that takes, the experience that takes. Because I can tell you, I'm really lucky to have a really great infrastructure director. If I wouldn't have him, I would have a problem because I couldn't work with the rest of my team on the exciting things we're doing to grow the business value. And the same, if you don't have a good bricklayer, I think it doesn't really matter how you're going to paint your house or what kitchen you put in, because it's going to be rocky. It's not going to be solid.
Such a good point. And Eduard, I'm looking over your left shoulder and I see the book, Good to Great. And I think that the first line of that book is probably the second best first line of any book ever written, the Bible being the first one. But the first line of that book is good is the enemy of great. And does that resonate with this Edwardism as well?
I think it does. I think there's a difference between the basic block and tackling, the infrastructure, where it's got to be solid. But you're right, it doesn't have to be great, but it's got to be solid. It's got to be consistent. It's got to be reliable. And on top of that, we can experiment somewhat. We are at times doing A/B experiments. What resonates mostly to get our patients to change their behavior, to nudge the right healthy habits. So not everything has to be great. The way your PC runs, it should just run solid. You don't need a great PC. I have a good PC. That's good enough for me. So we have to focus, where do we really want to make a difference and where do we want to just deliver a consistent standard service, because we can't differentiate.
Going to get you back at another time, Eduard. I want to talk more about this whole idea of where do we prioritize where we need to be great. So we'll definitely put a bookmark there. But in the meantime, got to get the basics right. Great CIOism, great Edwardism from Axia Women's Health. Thanks so much, Eduard.
Hey there, I'm Ryan Becker, and I'm on the production team for the Inspiring IT Leaders video series. If you like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up to help us grow, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Also, be sure to check out the Tech Whisperers podcast, where we take a peek inside the playbooks of the best digital leaders so that we can help you grow your career in tech leadership. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.